Jake Paul. At his peak, Jake Paul was the blueprint for everything people hated about YouTubers. He came up through Disney Channel, then turned YouTube into his personal playground of chaos. Giant mansions, constant flexing, and neighbors calling the cops on him daily. By 2017, Jake was pulling in millions of views on vlogs that were essentially just pranks, clout chasing, and merch pushes disguised as content. He called it Team 10. Most of the internet just called it unbearable. The real shift came when Jake leaned into being hated. Instead of changing course, he doubled down. Fights with other creators, constant feuds, and eventually pivoting to boxing. It worked financially, but it also cemented him as the guy people love to despise. His It's Everyday Bro music video became one of the most disliked videos in YouTube history. His vlogs were ridiculed as soulless content machines, and yet the numbers never stopped climbing. But as his YouTube career slowed, the fights took over. Jake's channel today is basically a promotional arm for boxing matches, Tyson, UFC crossovers, the Professional Fighters League. Once a top-tier vlogger with 20 million subscribers, he's now closer to a press release channel, dropping face-offs and fight trailers instead of daily chaos. The audience rating him as one of the worst YouTubers of 2025 isn't just about his current uploads, it's about what he represents. To many, Jake embodies everything wrong with YouTube fame. Cash grab content, endless self-promotion, and a career built on being hated. Logan Paul. Logan Paul is hated for crossing a line nobody thought a YouTuber would cross. His vlogs were once some of the most popular on the platform. Daily uploads packed with pranks, stunts, and over-the-top editing. Logan was good at it. Too good. His videos made him one of the fastest rising creators in YouTube history, pulling in millions of views every day. Then came Japan. In late 2017, Logan uploaded his now infamous suicide forest vlog, a video showing the body of a suicide victim while cracking jokes. It went live to millions before YouTube pulled it. The backlash was immediate and global. Overnight, Logan Paul went from golden boy to public enemy #1. His ads were cut, his channel was frozen, and for many, he became the face of YouTube irresponsibility. And yet, he didn't disappear. Logan rebuilt his brand by leaning on filmmaking skills, storytelling, and eventually wrestling. His new vlogs had higher production, better editing, and a narrative style that set him apart. He even partnered with editor Hayden Hiller-Smith, whose work gave his videos a cinematic feel. But the hate never fully left. Viewers who once adored him now saw a manipulator who had done the unforgivable. In 2025, Logan's channel is still active, with polished videos about his businesses, podcasts, and fights. His content is slick, well-produced, and undeniably watchable. But for a huge chunk of YouTube, the Suicide Forest video is the only thing that matters. SSniperWolf. SSniperWolf built her empire on reaction content. It's a simple setup. Someone else's clip cropped on screen, her face in the corner, and commentary that was often little more than restating what viewers were already seeing. At her peak, she was uploading constantly, racking up millions of views and dominating YouTube's recommendation system. But behind that success came the accusations. Fans noticed usernames cropped out of the clips. Original creators weren't credited. Titles and subjects repeated week after week, almost copy-paste. To critics, it was theft, packaged and sold to kids who didn't know any better. By 2025, the complaints had hardened into a reputation. SSniperWolf as one of YouTube's biggest content thieves. Even commentary channels tore into her, calling her videos lazy, repetitive, and an insult to smaller creators whose work she allegedly used without credit. One review summed it up bluntly: the worst, most repetitive content in basically all of YouTube. And yet, like Jake and Logan Paul before her, she's still here. Her channel is one of the biggest on the platform. Millions still click. Her uploads range from reacting to Darman skits to trying products to gaming videos, but the core format hasn't changed. For her fans, it's comfort content, but for her critics, it's proof that YouTube rewards quantity over originality. The truth is simple. SSniperWolf didn't need to reinvent herself because her formula still works, and that's why she sits on this list. That Vegan Teacher. Katie, better known as That Vegan Teacher, built her channel around one mission: make everyone vegan. But the way she did it turned her into one of the most ridiculed creators on the platform. Her videos mixed lectures, classroom-style rants, and ukulele songs that hammered home the same point: eating meat is wrong. But instead of persuading people, her tone drove them away. She compared meat eating to racism, made bizarre connections between slaughterhouses and social justice issues, and scolded viewers as if they were children. Reviews on her channel described her as narcissistic, annoying, and manipulative. Some called her songs the worst on YouTube. Others said she pushed veganism so aggressively that she turned people against the very cause she was trying to promote. Even those who agreed with her ethics couldn't stand her delivery. By 2025, her videos still follow the same formula: hello students, welcome to class, followed by moral preaching and guilt tripping. In one, she claimed speciesism is the first form of racism. In another, she framed children questioning why some animals are pets while others are food as proof that the world was broken. It's not that her arguments had no logic. Some points struck a nerve, like how society values dogs and cats but slaughters pigs and cows without question. But her way of framing it, blunt, accusatory, wrapped in ukulele jingles, made her a parody of herself. That Vegan Teacher is on the list because the more she repeated her message, the more people tuned out. UwUCuteSingle. On the surface, UwUCuteSingle is just a Roblox channel. Bright thumbnails, silly titles, and clickbait aimed squarely at kids, but look closer and you'll see why the internet hates her so much. Her videos are short bursts of brain rot, Roblox dances, goofy outfits, clickbaity challenges. A typical upload might be, this is how Dress and Brie will look like in 2025. A video that somehow pulls millions of views without really saying or doing anything. It's the kind of content adults roll their eyes at, but for kids, it's digital candy. Quick, loud, and gone in seconds. With over 12 million subscribers, UwUCuteSingle is far from irrelevant, but the criticism is constant. Low effort editing, recycled jokes, and nothing but dopamine chasing clips designed to keep kids scrolling. One review summed it up as cringe Roblox clickbait brain rot for kids. And yet, the numbers prove it works. Her videos get millions of views. Kids binge them. Parents complain, commentary channels mock, but UwUCuteSingle keeps posting. For many, she represents everything wrong with YouTube's algorithm, rewarding quantity over quality, noise over substance. Is it the worst channel on YouTube? Maybe not, but to critics, UwUCuteSingle embodies the lowest effort style of content creation and proves you don't need death to win the algorithm. Because where That Vegan Teacher lectured, UwUCuteSingle just spammed uploads. Different strategies, same result. A spot on the most hated list. The Stokes Twins. Alan and Alex Stokes built their empire on family-friendly stunts and challenges, but the accusations against them weren't just about being cringy. At one point, the twins were even accused of faking their own deaths for content.
Call 911! Tell them the dog is white! Tell them the dog is white!
Their channel, with over 100 million subscribers, looks like a Mr. Beast clone on steroids. Titles like I Murdered Mr. Beast or 1 versus 100 million YouTuber houses aren't exaggerations, they're real uploads. Videos are stuffed with staged drama, fake danger, and thumbnails so over the top it's hard to believe YouTube allows them. And yet, the views roll in. In their murder mystery collabs, you'll see past Mr. Beast contestants acting out scenes. In their dangerous theme parks videos, you'll get the same beats you would expect from a Beast-style challenge, only with more forced chaos. To fans, it's entertainment. To critics, it's the definition of soulless copycatting. The irony? Some of their recent videos actually show improvement. The murder mystery setups are more watchable than their early clickbait days, but that doesn't erase their reputation. Once you're accused of faking deaths for clout, that stain sticks forever. The Stokes Twins prove a harsh truth about YouTube. Being hated doesn't always hurt. Their content is brain rot, their thumbnails absurd, and their reputation is shaky, but with numbers this big, hate almost feels irrelevant. Jack Doherty. Jack started out like many prank YouTubers, loud, flashy, and obsessed with attention. But over time, his content shifted from harmless stunts to something more toxic, harassing strangers, flexing wealth, and stirring up public scenes for views. By 2024, his reputation was so bad that he topped lists as the #1 worst YouTuber. The formula is simple. Jack films wild parties, stunts with luxury cars, or confrontations in public places. He's been kicked out of malls, yelled at by security, and even accused of putting others in danger just to keep the camera rolling. His critics say he represents the worst side of clout culture. A guy who will do anything, no matter how obnoxious, as long as it racks up views. Even on Kick, where he streams, the same reputation follows him. Clips show Jack throwing money around, starting fights, or creating awkward, sometimes aggressive situations in real life. The internet isn't laughing with him, it's laughing at him. And yet, the numbers are still there. His parties feature rappers like Polo G. His videos rack up hundreds of thousands of views. But for many, it's bottom of the barrel content, brainless flexing and chaos for chaos' sake. One reviewer put it best: if you catch your kids watching this guy, stop them. In 2025, Jack Doherty remains a magnet for hate because his brand isn't built on creativity or talent, it's built on being disliked. And that's exactly why he's on this list. ImAlexx. Alex, a British commentary YouTuber, once held a strong following. His videos had everything you would expect from the genre. Sharp editing, trending topics, and a steady flow of hot takes. For a while it worked. He looked like another rising star in the commentary space. But the controversy wasn't about his editing or delivery. It was about how he treated people behind the scenes. Allegations surfaced that Alex manipulated people, spread lies, and used his platform to push narratives that weren't true. Other creators accused him of misrepresenting situations, twisting details, and even destroying reputations. The audience that once saw him as a trusted commentator began to see him as a hypocrite. When the accusations went public, viewers combed back through his uploads and found a pattern: content that leaned heavily on drama, often at someone else's expense. The very format that built his career, exposing others, became the lens that exposed him. By 2025, his uploads had slowed to a crawl. His channel, which once thrived on fast-moving commentary cycles, now feels deserted. Videos that do appear are met with comment sections filled with criticism, disappointments, and reminders of allegations. What was once a promising career in YouTube commentary collapsed into distrust. ImAlexx didn't become hated because of one outrageous video or a single scandal. He became hated because viewers stopped believing in him. On YouTube, that's fatal. A commentary creator lives and dies on trust, and Alex lost his. In praise of shadows. On the surface, his channel looks impressive. Slick documentary-style videos, clean editing, ominous narration, the kind of content you would expect to see praised, not torn apart. And yet, in 2025, he sits on the list of most hated YouTubers. Why? Because in trying to fight racism, he ended up accused of being racist himself. The controversy centered around comments he made comparing black people and Native Americans to cannibals from the Hills of Ice. He also called out another creator, Wendigoon, who has Native American ancestry, for not being Native enough to talk about certain folklore. The result? A wave of backlash that painted him as smug, hypocritical, and out of touch. Viewers didn't just hate the remarks, they hated the irony. A white creator positioning himself as enlightened, gatekeeping who was allowed to discuss native culture. In his attempt to play moral authority, he ended up embodying the very arrogance he claimed to be against. And yet, the actual content tells a different story. His videos are polished, well-researched, and filled with strong visuals. His breakdowns of movies, history, and cultural trends look like they belong on a much higher rated channel. Some viewers even admit they enjoy the work, but they can't get past the person behind it. That's the problem. On YouTube, separating art from artist is almost impossible. No matter how professional the edits or how good the storytelling, the backlash follows. For In Praise of Shadows, his reputation now overshadows his videos. Wilbur Soot. For years, Wilbur was one of the internet's golden boys, a musician, streamer, and content creator tied to the Minecraft boom. He built a reputation as witty, creative, and deeply likable. To his fans, Wilbur wasn't just another gaming YouTuber, he was the kind of personality you trusted. That trust shattered when allegations surfaced in 2024. Former partners and acquaintances accused him of being abusive in relationships. The stories painted him as controlling, manipulative, and emotionally damaging. For fans who had idolized him, it was a devastating reversal. The charming musician turned out to be something much darker. Wilbur responded publicly, releasing statements that admitted to mistakes while denying some of the harsher claims, but the damage was done. What had once been one of the most meteoric careers in YouTube history came crashing down almost overnight. For many viewers, there was no coming back from the abuse allegations. Wilbur did what many disgraced YouTubers do. He went quiet. His uploads slowed to nothing. His online presence shrank, and for a while, it looked like his career was finished. Fans speculated, critics piled on, and the silence only made the allegations louder. But 2 months ago, he broke that silence with an update video. In it, he addressed the situation again, stating he still stands by what he said a year ago, and continued on with his plans for his channel in the future. The video didn't repair his reputation, but it reminded everyone that he hadn't disappeared. Wilbur Soot is still here, still posting, and still trying to rebuild. The problem is, reputations don't reset that easily. Once beloved, Wilbur is now a divisive figure. Some fans want to forgive, but others say his update wasn't enough. His channel, once a hub of gaming and music, now feels overshadowed by the scandal attached to his name. Steven Crowder. Steven Crowder is one of the most recognizable conservative commentators online. His livestream, Louder with Crowder, built an empire of debates, hot takes, and slogans like "Change My Mind." For his fans, he was the voice of reason, but for critics, he was propaganda in a polo shirt. The hate reached a peak when stories broke about his personal life. His marriage collapse became public, with accusations of emotional abuse that painted him as controlling and cruel. At the same time, his on-camera persona leaned harder into anger and divisiveness. Clips about him ranting about the hateful left or mocking marginalized groups flooded timelines. Viewers who once tolerated his style now saw him as toxic. By 2025, his audience ratings are among the lowest possible, 0.5 stars. That score isn't just about politics, it's about the way he delivers them. His channel is a daily stream of outrage, packaged as commentary but framed like a battle. Guns on the desk, headlines spun into culture war fuel, every upload designed less to inform and more to provoke. Critics say it isn't journalism or even real debate, it's theater. And the line between his personal controversies and his content is gone. When a commentator preaches about values while their private life unravels in public, the audience sees hypocrisy, not integrity. Crowder still commands millions of views, he still has an audience that praises every upload, but outside that circle, he's become one of the most hated figures on the platform, the kind of creator whose name alone sparks an argument. Onision. Onision, real name Greg Jackson, has been infamous for over a decade. His early skits, like the viral "I'm a Banana," made him a meme. But what kept him in the spotlight wasn't comedy, it was controversy. Allegations of manipulation, abusive relationships, and predatory behavior followed him year after year, with dozens of creators making exposés that collectively painted him as one of YouTube's most toxic figures. By the mid-2020s, Onision wasn't known for content anymore. He was known as a cautionary tale. His name became shorthand for everything wrong with unchecked internet fame. At one point, he was arguably the single most covered villain in YouTube commentary history. And yet, he still uploads. His channel today is a bizarre mix of AI-generated songs, strange rants, and half-hearted attempts to recapture relevance. In one upload, he awkwardly sings about showering. In another, he puts out what looks like an Onision parody of himself. The comments are turned off, the views are low, and the once infamous creator now looks more like a ghost of his former self. But his reputation hasn't faded. For most viewers, Onision isn't just another bad YouTuber. He's the bottom of the barrel. The 0.5 star rating he carries isn't about production quality or upload schedules. It's about legacy. A legacy defined by manipulation, scandals, and a refusal to leave the stage. Onision's career is proof of one thing. sometimes being the most hated is the only thing that keeps you remembered. So, that's the list. From Jake Paul to Onision, from reckless flexing to outright abuse. These are the names audiences voted as the most hated YouTubers. But now it's your turn. Who do you think deserves the crown? And did I miss anyone? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.